Hi guys, this is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA. It is Saturday morning, August the 12th, 2017, and I'm going to talk about building your own home. How about that? Have I ever done it? One time. And for those of you, I got an email from an individual that watched one of my videos related to tiny homes. And they asked a question about building their own home on their own property. And I'm sure you can do that if you can get financing from the bank, a construction loan, then you can do that on your own. However, as you can see, I'm a little older. Of course, right now I'm full-time RV, and I live in an RV now in Central Texas, USA, but I have built, or had built, 4 new homes in my life. And so I know something about the system or how it works. And here's what I want to tell you. If you decide that you're going to build your own home, of course you'll go to a bank or a lending institution and get you a construction loan, and then you'll have to have your site located, and then you'll have to get it cleared. That's step one. You got to get it cleared for where you're going to build your house. Then you're going to have to bring in power, because the contractors, as they build your home, are going to have power for all their tools and stuff. And also you're going to need a source of water, because when they pour the foundation, if you're going to have a slab, now if you're going to put it on pier and beam, you might be able to get by without water initially, but assuming you're going to have a slab, cement, then you're going to need water. So if it's in a city area or where there's water you can tap into, you can go ahead and do that. But if you're in the country, you're going to need to drill a water well, and that may take some time, so you'll need to plan for all of that in advance. Can you save any money building your own home? The answer to that is yes and no. Yes, in that usually a builder is going to make anywhere, let's pick a number, easy number, 100,000. Say you're going to build a $100,000 home, and you're going to let a contractor or home builder build it. Well, he's probably going to make $15,000 out of the deal somehow or more. And so you could probably, if you build it yourself, your thinking is you're going to save that money for yourself, and the reality is you're not. Okay, the reason is I built my own home years ago. Same thing would apply today, no changes. And what I found out is this: you don't know a lot. All right, you may think you know a lot about building, but you don't. In other words, when you get ready to, let's just say getting ready, you've cleared the land, the guy's coming out, or you want to get the site ready to pour the foundation. All right, which comes first? Well, the first thing you got to do is the guy's got to get the foundation ready for the plumbers, okay? And then they come out and do all the PVC work or whatever they do now, and you got to get that stubbed, the plumbing stubbed in, so to speak, before you can pour the slab. So you're going to have a subcontractor pouring the slab. You're going to have a subcontractor plumber doing the plumbing. Then you're going to have, anyway. But once you get that done, then everything's got to kind of fall in place in a certain order, or it ain't going to work, and it will drive you insane. And why? Because these subcontractors owe you nothing, because you're a one-shot deal. One shot. Now, if they're working for builders, they get pretty steady business year-round, year after year after year after year. So that's the guy they're going to take care of first. And what they'll do is, I call it staking their claim. They'll come out and do a little work so that they've kind of staked their claim, and then they'll disappear. And you'll call them on the phone, and they'll say, yeah, we'll be out there Monday, or we'll be out there Tuesday, and they never show up. Drives you crazy, okay? And then once if you finally get lucky and get your slab poured, but when they pour the foundation, do yourself a favor, get you a testing company out there to take some samples of the concrete as it's poured to be sure that it meets the standards for foundations. In other words, that it's sturdy, that there's you got a 2-bag, 3-bag mix, 4-bag mix, all that stuff you'll learn the hard way. And you want to be sure that your foundation is, quote, sturdy enough to hold your building up, okay? So, then you got your, let's say you got your plumbing stubbed in, you got the foundation poured, you got those two things out of the way. Now you got to find a framing contractor, all right? So and you have to deal with a building material outlet, whether it's going to be Lowe's, Home Depot, or some other local deal. Who cares? You better have one lined up because you need to get it set up so you can get all your materials there and have them on site as the subcontractors need them. All right, and that can be a headache too because everything gets out of sync all the time. So you got the plumbing, and then you get the framing contractor. Here's what'll happen. It happened to me. Drove me nuts. They came out. I had all the material there stacked up, ready to go. They framed 2 sides of the house. Disappeared. Week and a half later, I finally got them back out there, and they did a little framing, and then disappeared again. Man, it like drove me crazy. Finally, I found this old man and his son that did building, and they were a little pricier than some of the others, but at least they stayed on the job. And anyway, they got it all framed out. Then the next thing you got to do, all this has got to fall in order. You got to do the electrical on the inside, but after you get it framed, then you can get the electrical done, and then of course I use trusses on my house, which you'll learn what that is, and anyway, then once you want to get it in the dry as quickly as possible. In other words, you want to get a roof on it and the windows on it and the exterior first layer of siding, whatever you're going to use. You want to use some kind of energy efficient siding and structural siding to make your home energy efficient. So once you get that done, get your windows in, get your roof on, it's in the dry. Okay, well, let me tell you, if you think finding a roofing contractor that's good and reliable is easy, you're dreaming, because they'll come out. I promise you. You'll have all the materials there. I had a composition roof, which is just a regular composition shingles, and had them there ready to go. They came out, rolled out the old felt, black tar stuff, black felt or whatever on the roof, got it all covered, did 1 row of shingles, gone. How long were they gone? They're gone about 10 days. Yeah, I never got them back out there. Anyway, when they finally showed up, they stayed on it until they got the job done. It only took them a day and a half. That's pretty quick. Once they were there, they did a hell of a job. But if the contractor they were working for called them, they were gone. So anyway, now you got the roof on and everything's ready to go. It's in the dry. The electricians are running the wiring on the inside, getting ready to go. And you better know where you want your light switches and your lights, because you're it. You better have you a full set of plans. One for the electrician, one for the plumber, one for the foundation guy. You better have about 5 or 6 sets of plans. All right, full sets, detailed, and then check. You got to double check, triple check, because they won't do what it says on the plan. Sometimes they just overlook it. People make mistakes, so just be aware of that. You'll go in blackheaded and you'll end up like this. Then the next thing you got to do is, the electricians come in, get everything, stubbed out or whatever you call it, and then you got to get the drywall guys in. If you're going to do sheetrock, you got to get those guys in, and then they cover the walls. It's all timing, and then at some point you got to get the cabinet man in, and then the plumber's got to come back in, put sinks in, the bathroom fixtures, and then you got to hook up your water system to the outside. You got to pressure it up, be sure you don't have any leaks. Of course, you got to have, my air conditioner was up in the roof. The the fan part was, and the furnace was in there too. And so you got all that stuff going on. You got to have your attic insulated and all that stuff. You got to have the insulation guys out. So what I'm saying, you see all this stuff. You got about 5 or 6 or more subcontractors you got to deal with. And you don't know anything about it, really. You don't. They know a lot about it. All right? So they got you. They'll tell you how much they're going to charge, and you just have to go, okay. Now, you can take bids. I did. I took 2 or 3 bids on everything. And is the lowest bid always the best? No. Is the highest bid always the best? No. So, you got to check these guys out. How do you check them out? If you can contact the contractors that they've been working for a few years and ask them what kind of people they think they are. But if you contact the contractor, he's going to say, "You mean Joe's been coming out to your place?" I wondered where he was. That's the kind of response you're going to get. You're going to get old Joe in trouble, and then he ain't ever going to come back. So anyway, you got to, building your own home is a headache at best, at best, because I spent nearly every weekend for 6 months out at my building site doing stuff. I mean, it never ended for 6 months. And would I do it again? No, no, no. Why? Because I would rather pay the extra $15,000 or $20,000. No shit. And why? Because you turn it over to a builder, then you can bitch. Okay? In other words, you can come in and say, well, I don't like that. Okay? And then the builder will change it because he's just going to charge you for it anyway, even though you've already reached a deal. He's left enough room in there for this stuff. I mean, it ain't his first rodeo either. So, then you got to leave enough for landscaping and driveways and all of that stuff. And so it gets to be really expensive. And whenever you're talking to the builder about building your home, be sure you put in adequate amounts for landscaping, driveways, whatever else you think you're going to need. Because if you don't have that in the initial contract, it ain't going to happen. It ain't. But anyway, having said that, I just responding to this guy that is planning on building a small home, and he may not have the headaches that I've mentioned, but at least I want to put you on notice that there are a lot of things you can run into when you try to build your own home. So having said that, guys, from Central Texas, this is Rusty 78609, Central Texas, USA, saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye, 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 USA, made when you can. Drink plenty of water, 3 or 4 quarts a day. Will not hurt you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and obesity, because if you drink a lot of water, you'll feel full. You won't snack. You'll lose weight. And what else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth several times a day. Why? That relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. Lowering your blood pressure is good for you, period. So all those 2 things right there. Drink plenty of water and take deep breaths. How hard is that? You're in total control of that. You can do it all the time, every day. May extend your life 20 years for all I know. Stretch, walk, stay busy, keep your health. And that way, if you want to build a home, you'll be able to. You ain't going to enjoy it, though. Anyway, bye-bye. Adios.